Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports, Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over the NBA games for Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. I'm going to show you both sides of each game, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And if for whatever reason you're curious to know who I'm picking, you have to join my Patreon where my picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized. For more information on that, please read the description of this video. Wish you guys the best of luck in your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the games. We have the Wizards versus the Hawks, Spurs versus the Nets, Celtics versus the Cavs, Pelicans versus the Mavericks, Blazers versus the Jazz, Rockets versus the Lakers. I have what I call my daily numbers on this side, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. Game numbers on this side. Away team up top, their season record, their coach record, the head-to-head between the two in the middle, home team at the bottom, their season record, and their coach's record. So this first game here, we got the Wizards and the Hawks. Two different ways we can slice this. If we're going to look at Hawks winning this game, I would say something like Hawks can get their 39th win for the season as the Wizards become 15-21 for a road record with a loss. 15-21 has some number properties here. Square root of 39. 15-21 has a square root of 39. Hawks can get their 39th win to go with. Hawks would jump from 38 to 39 wins for the season. Today has 22 and 38. Date numerology on the Gregorian. The reason why I say 22 is because 22 sums to 39. So they can jump from 38 to 39 as the Wizards get their 38th loss for the season. So they'll get their 39th win. They'll get their 38th loss. 15-21, square root of 39. Get their 39th. Today is May 12th. You can write it as 5/12 or 12/5, May 12th or the 12th of May. 12/5, 125. Hawks coach, if they win this game, Hawks coach would become 25-11, which has that 251, 125 number in there. So not directly, but it has some relation in there. 251, 125, just one more extra one. And then if we're going to look at the Wizards, we'll just say if Wizards were going to win this game, Wizards can sit on 37 losses for this season, which is the 12th prime number. And they'll get their first win head-to-head against the Hawks for the season. So they'd become 1-2, like 12, as Hawks get their 12th home loss. And then their coach would get his 12th loss as a coach for Hawks. And Hawks would sit on 22 home wins on a day with 22 date numerology. The thing about that, though, is they play tomorrow, the Hawks. So tomorrow has 23 date numerology. And it has 39 date numerology. So it's like, do the Hawks go into tomorrow's game with 39 wins and 23 home wins? Or do they lose today and then tomorrow they pick up their 23rd home win and their 39th win for the season? Got to check if it's a home game tomorrow. I don't know if it is. Home game. Yeah, it's a home game against the Magic, so it's not unheard of if the Hawks beat the Magic. I don't think that'd be a crazy speculation. So look for that because they play tomorrow. And then Wizards, they can get their 33rd win for the season. Today does have 60, or today is the 60th day on the Hebrew religious. And 33. If I can spell it right. 33 sums to 60. So that would be the either or. And Wizards can get their 165th all-time head-to-head win against the Hawks today with 22 date numerology. 22 sums to 165. 165th. All right, let's look at the Spurs and the Nets. The Spurs and the Nets have something that I don't think I've seen really. Maybe I've seen it before, but I just don't remember. But I've seen portions of this, but not like together. Like for the it's the 97th, excuse me, all time, or excuse me, regular season. I can't even talk right now. It's the 97th regular season head to head. It's the 103rd all time head to head. 103 is the 27th prime number, and the Nets can get their 27th all time head to head win against the Spurs. 97th regular, 97 is the 25th prime. They can get their 25th. So you can see that they could get their prime numbers. 103rd all time, 103 the 27th prime. Nets can get the 27th all time. 97th reg, 25th prime. They can get the 25th reg head to head against the Spurs. You know, maybe you'll see like a portion of this, like maybe it's the 103rd all time. But seeing all time and regular season, where it potentially can be a prime number, it's kind of funny. 27 all time. Number 27 sums to 46. And it sums to 125. Today being, the 12th of May, 12/5. Nets can get their 46th win as they get their 27th all-time head-to-head win in the 103rd all-time game, the 27th prime. But if we're talking about number properties, we have to bring up that Nets are currently sitting on 45 wins for the season. 45 is the 9th triangular number. This is their 34th home game. 34 is the 9th Fibonacci number. And the Nets can get their 9th home loss. And they can also sit on 25 home wins. 97, the 25th prime, as they get their 25th loss for the season. 97, the 25th prime. So this 97 swings both ways. And for the Spurs, they can become 34-35 for a season record. It's the 35th away game. It's the 34th home game. 34-35. They could become 34-35 for a record with the win. So it's either the Nets record is going to become this 103-27, and I didn't mention 24. If they get their 46th win, sit on 24. 24 sums to 103. 27 sums to 46. 46, 24, 103 all time. 27th prime, get their 27th all time. 97th reg, 25th prime. It's kind of funny. But there's definitely narrative here with that 25 loss for the Nets. They can sit on that 25, 34th home, get that 9th. 34, the 9th Fibonacci. Spurs would get their 34th win. We'll just mark that dark blue too. So, either way, Celtics, Cavs. So if the Cavs were going to win this game, it's the 60th day on the Hebrew religious. Celtics coach, he would get his 281st regular season loss, which is the 60th prime number. And it's the first day of the third month on the Hebrew religious, like 13. Cavs would get their 13th home win. They would also get their 22nd win for the season today with 22nd or 22 and 13 date numerology on the Gregorian. And then Cavs coach, he can get his 27th win regular season as the coach for the Cavs. 27 written out, sums to 125. We talked about it up here with the Nets. 125. Today is the 12th of May. Written 12/5, like 125. But if we were going to go with the Celtics, it would be almost be the same reason for the Spurs as well. Like how I said, 34th home, 35th away, 34, 35 potentially for the Spurs. I suppose Celtics can do that too if that were to be a thing to happen on this day. We'll find out. 36th home game, 34th away game. Celtics can become 36, 34 for a season record with the win. The Cavs, they can sit on 12 home wins with a loss as they get their 12th loss in a row as they become 1-2 head to head against Celtics for the season, like 12. I would think that would be a big indicator for them. They would sit on 21 wins, 21 a reflection of 12. I would say that would be what, if you're looking for the Celtics to win, that's what I'd be looking at. The Celtics would get their 157th all-time head-to-head win against the Cavs. 157, the 37th prime number. 37, the 12th prime number. Pelicans and Mavericks. So if the Mavericks were going to win this game, they can get their 41st win for the season. Today is the first day of the third month on the Hebrew religious, like 13. 41 is the 13th prime number. Pelicans would sit on 13 away wins with a loss as they get their 22nd away loss to go with. They'd be 13-22. Today, 13-22 date numerology on the Gregorian. 22 sums to 39, and Pelicans would get their 39th loss for the season to go with. What else? I think that was it I was looking at. Oh, 35, 35th away game, 35th home game. Pelicans get their 39th loss. 35 and 39 are identical in all four base ciphers. So that would be not so good news for Pelicans, potentially. But today does have 38 date numerology on the Gregorian. And maybe they sit on that 38 and get their 32nd win. The reason I say that is because 38 also sums to 149. And 149 is the 35th prime number. So that 35, I guess, could be something to hold the 38 up, or it could be something to drag in that 39. I guess two ways of looking at it. And then I guess Mavericks would sit on 19 home wins with a loss. It is the first day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, like 19. Maybe there's something going on with this 555 up here for the Pelicans coach. 555. 224, 116, 100, 316. I don't see anything. What do you guys think? It is their 70th game, both their game, and then it's the 70th regular season head-to-head between the two. That's interesting. 1031 for Mavericks. I think that's a prime number. 1031. Yeah, so 173rd prime. So, I mean, I guess I would go against Mavericks. Mavericks can sit on 40 wins for the season with a loss, and their coach is 1,031st game as a coach for Mavericks regular season, which is the 173rd prime number. 173 is the 40th prime number. Working with some big numbers here. 1523. 1523, that's probably, yeah, prime number. 241. 241, the 53rd prime. 53, the 16th prime. Mavericks can get their 16th home loss, so their coach could be the one that gets them the losses. 15-23 breaks down to 16 mathematically. They get their 16th home loss. 10-31 breaks down to 40 in prime numbers. They could sit on 40. So you have two different narratives there. Trailblazers and Jazz. If Jazz were going to win this game, it would be because maybe 233 days is left in the Gregorian. 233 is the 51st prime number. They would get their 51st win for the season. They would sit on 19 losses. First day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, like 19. It's a day leaving 324 left on the Hebrew Religious, and Jazz would become 32-4 at home for the season. 32-4. I believe this is their last home game. Yeah, so it's their last home game. Are they going to lose their last home game? Maybe. But 32-24 is what they would become for a home record on a day, leaving 324 left. 233 left on the Gregorian, the 51st prime. They would get their 51st win. But the thing is, though, the tough thing is, though, it is the first day of the third month on the Hebrew Religious, like 13, and Blazers can get their 41st win for the season, the 13th prime number, as they sit on 13 road losses with the win. 41 and 13th prime. They would get their 22nd road win to go with 13 and 22 date numerology on the Gregorian. So there's a few teams that can do that. 13 and 22 on the Gregorian. They could become 22-13. Pelicans could become 13-22. So maybe just the two. Oh, that's 13-23. That's 22-12. Close. I'll skip forward really quick. No. So there's only two teams that could potentially become 22-13. Okay. What was I talking about? So Jazz coach, 552nd regular season game, 552. With the loss, Jazz could become 50-20. Has like a 5-2 look to it, I guess. Jazz would get their 5th home loss as the Blazers get their 5th win in a row. A Blazers coach, he can get his 401st regular season win as a Blazer coach, which kind of has that 4-1-41 look to it as they get their 41st win. And 41, if you spell it out, so it's a 118. Jazz would sit on 118 all-time head-to-head wins against Blazers with the loss. So it doesn't look too good for the Jazz in their last home game. There's a decent narrative here for the Blazers. I imagine it would be... I wonder if Jazz would be the favorite, obviously, right? I know they got a few guys out. It'd probably be like a short favorite, like a minus, like a 2, minus 2.5, maybe 3. I don't know. I guess we can find out. Tomorrow. Yeah, minus 4.5, 4. Alright. Percentage money bets coming in. Alright, last game, Rockets Lakers. So I made a video on Lakers. I asked the question: are Lakers gonna end on a 5-game winning streak? So far, the question has not been answered yet. They did win yesterday's game, and so now this is their next game, and then they got 2 more to go. If that question were to be answered, I gave a reason for it. or somewhat of a reason, maybe like a start to a reason to potentially that they could win out the rest of their games. And I also gave a narrative for the Knicks too. I said, look, this could be Knicks could just go out and win it as well. No, that's nothing, no surprise. But Lakers got it done barely, and we'll see if they'll continue. I would imagine their next couple of games aren't that hard. Rockets, Pacers, and then I forget the last one. Pelicans. So unless one of those Lakers are not motivated to win any of those games, I don't know. We'll find out. But Lakers in this one against the Rockets, I don't know why Rockets would even show up for this game, other than maybe like personal points as a player to get better trade value. I don't know. I would think they would just lose outright though. Rockets can get their 27th loss on the road. Today is the 12th of May, 12/5, 27 sums to 125. Lakers would get their 141st regular season head-to-head win against the Rockets. This being the Lakers coach 141st game regular season as a coach for Lakers. And Lakers would end the season with getting their 21st home win. This is their last home game. 21 sums to 141. Lakers would get their 165th all-time head-to-head win against the Rockets. Today with 22 date numerology, 22 sums to 165. Lakers would sit on 30 losses for the season with the win as they sweep the Rockets 3-0 like 30 for the season. Lakers would get their 40th win for the season. And the number 40 sums to 30. But, let's look at the Rockets here. What can the Rockets do? Well, today does have 22 date numerology. 22 does sum to 39 as well. Lakers could just sit on that 39 and get their 31st loss for the season. Rockets, they haven't won a game against them yet, but they could get that first one. It is the first day of the 9th month on the Hebrew Civil, like 19. I guess you could look at it as a 91 as well. There is 91 date numerology and 31 date numerology on the Hebrew Civil. Lakers can get that 31st loss for the season as their coach sits on 91 wins regular season as a coach for Lakers. They would become 2016 for a home record for this season with the loss. 2016 does have some number properties. It's the 63rd triangular number. I'm not sure of a connection though. I couldn't find anything off a hand other than it being their 36th home game, and 63 and 36 are reflections of each other. Rockets getting that 17th win for the season. Spell 17 correctly. 109, 12, 134, 44. Guess nothing jumps immediately. I'm trying, Rockets. I'm trying. Let's do some name Gematria. Rockets. 91. Oh, there's, see, 91. That could be in favor, that 91. Lakers coach sitting on that 91. First day of the 9th month on the Hebrew. Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets 59. The 17th prime. I guess they can get that whenever. Houston sums to 31. We were talking about Lakers getting their 31st loss. Potentially against Houston, maybe. 31. So there's some things here. I guess that's it for now. I have to continue to look at it. But hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I wish you best of luck on your picks. Hopefully you guys win.